Welcome back, everyone. It is Wednesday, January 29th in the NBA. We got 4 picks in this video we're about to dive into. If you are new, my name's Austin from Calling Our Shot. As always, we always recap how we did the day before. It was a 2-1 day. We finally got in the winning column. We'll take it. Should have had the sweep, but man, hey, we'll take a 2-1 day. Obviously, we cashed day 2 of the ladder challenge. As always, I recommend playing each of them for 1 unit, irrelevant to the $10 that we roll over. We now got $40. We'll talk about day 3 later on in this video. Vic Krejci, under an assist, super easy. Once Trae Young got ruled in, sweat-free, ended with 2. And then Austin Reeves could not come through. Very low usage game given the circumstances because Anthony Davis went out in the first quarter and Austin Reeves didn't really want to do anything. He obviously cashed for us in the ladder, but he ended with 21, only like 10 shots. Weird game from him. But either way, a 2-1 day, we'll take it. In this video, I'm going to dive into my favorite props I love. We'll talk the ladder challenge. And at the end of the video, we'll talk about some added plays. At the very end, I'll go through maybe a couple games and a couple other things I looked at. Good chance we add some plays today. So as always, if we add any plays, they're going to be down below in the pinned comment. And if you do me a favor, drop your favorite plays in the pinned comment and why, or in the comment section down below. Let me know why you like them. And heck, we might even add 1 or 2 of those to the card. But either way, let's dive into things. We'll begin with the first play of the day. It is the guy I'm throwing on the thumbnail. He did not suit up last night, although his team did. Think he plays tonight. That's Steph Curry. I like his over 22.5 points, which is currently minus 109 on Caesars. Now, you don't see me taking a lot of overs against the Oklahoma City Thunder because, let's be honest, the Oklahoma City Thunder are one of the best defenses in the NBA, one of the best defenses of all time statistically. However, this has been a matchup that Steph Curry has played well in the past. And coming off a game last night, he did not play. I think he plays tonight, and there's no chance they're keeping this game close unless Steph Curry does not play well in it. Now, let's talk about Steph first, and I'll first begin with looking at how he's done against the Thunder recently. Now, obviously, take these numbers with a grain of salt. Their rosters are much different. Personnel is much different. Schemes much different on both sides of the ball. But you've seen him. He's absolutely destroyed them. 36 points. That was earlier this year. 34, 25, 30, 34, 40, 38. I mean, sure, he went under in these 2 games. But again, a lot of good track record. But we're not really going to count on stats in 2019 in this matchup. Now, you obviously have to talk about how Steph Curry scores the basketball. And let's be honest, he's been pretty bad recently. In fact, over the last 4 games, he's under. Now, in this game against the Celtics, they lost by 40. Could happen tonight. This game against the Kings, they doubled him all game long. He went 6 for 11, only 11 shots, doubling him. 21 points here against the Bulls. Again, another blowout. And then this game against the Lakers, not a blowout, but he shoots 4 for 17. That's obviously why this line has bumped down. Now, obviously, guys that struggle against the Thunder, and there's a lot of them, are guys that like to go one-on-one and just try to go ISO on you. That's not how you beat the Thunder. But you can beat them coming off screens, spot-up shooting, which we know Steph Curry's obviously running all around. And we all know Lou Dort, wherever he is, he's going to be the one that guards Steph Curry. I'm not too worried about that. Lou Dort, much better on-ball defender than a guy that has to run through 100 screens. So at the end of the day, Lou Dort, if he wants to run through some screens and foul Steph Curry, give us some free throws, we'll take them. I personally just think this line's a little bit too low. I get it. Steph Curry hasn't been the greatest this season. But again, I really think this is a good spot to back him. I know it's crazy. They are 9, 10-point underdogs here. They could get blown out. It wouldn't shock anyone. They're on a back-to-back. But these 2 teams typically, I feel like, knock on wood, they play pretty competitive games. I do wish Draymond Green was playing in this one. If this was Draymond Green active, I might make this a bigger play, but Steph's not going to have someone to help him set up some shots a ton, but the offense still kind of runs more or less the same. So Steph Curry, please make some shots. If not, I'll see you on Monday, and I'll have some choice words for you. But either way, I really do like Steph Curry's over in points. Let's hope that he can come through. My second play is going to be another over. Then we'll go to an under. This one's going to be on a center of the Dallas Mavericks, Daniel Gafford. I like his over 25.5 points plus rebounds, minus 120 on DraftKings, a 1-unit play. Now, obviously, Daniel Gafford comes in here. Him and the Mavericks are on the road taking on the Pelicans. The Pelicans have played a lot faster recently since the return of Zion Williamson. They're zooming up and down the court, which I do like. Obviously, more possessions, the better for us. But I really like this spot here for Daniel Gafford. And I'll first begin with the injury report that you're going to see from the Dallas Mavericks. Now, not listed on here is Derek Lively. They just removed him completely off the depth chart. He's out for a long time. But Dwight Powell out. Maxi Kleber, he's not even on here. He's broke his foot, I think. Get well soon there. Najee Marshall, we'll see if he plays. But at the end of the day, we think about this Pelicans roster and what they're going to try out there. They're going to try out probably Messi at the 5, and then Daniel Tice. And obviously we have Zion Williamson. Zion, not a shooter, but he attacks the rim nonstop. So in my opinion, we're going to need Daniel Gafford out there for some solid minutes to not only be a good rim protector against Zion, but also have some size against the other bigs that they're going to throw out there. So again, he's their only center that they really have active. And we've seen, recently Daniel Gafford, these are just games without Derek Lively and Luka Doncic. He's only over in 5 of 10, which is a little bit concerning. But again, I more so want to isolate just in the most recent games. When we're looking at, since Derek Lively went down, which was on, somewhere in early January, over in 5 of 7. That does include a game here against the Pelicans when he had 39 points and rebounds, 27 points. 12 rebounds. Zion didn't even play in that game. Then he has two unders or against the Thunder, whatever. He doesn't play a lot. 20 minutes here, and then 23 minutes. We know the Thunder love to go small. So again, his matchup is not needed out there. 46 against the Hornets. Again, 26 against the Timberwolves, a very tough matchup when you got Rudy Gobert down there. And then 34 against the Celtics, came through despite a block. And only 26 here. So technically, if the line bumped up to 26.5, you'd be looking at 2 games, he ended on the hook. But again, this game against Rudy Gobert and this game, he only plays 24 minutes because they were winning by 30 points in the third quarter. So again, I think this is a spot where we could see a tight game. Granted, I do want to note that this is a Mavericks team that's out for revenge. They feel like they were cheated out of their last loss to the Pelicans, which was just a few weeks ago. Trey Murphy technically got a goaltending. The refs did not call it, and so they ended up losing that game by 3. So they're going to be out for revenge here. But again, they're only 2.5 3-point favorites. So they do think the Pelicans keep it close. High total. I think Gafford can do. I didn't even show you how Gafford scores. My mistake. Gafford, 85% of his points come in the restricted area. Pelicans, second most points allowed there. Again, he's good at putbacks. He's good in transition, free throws, whatever. We're not really banking on that. I just don't think they have a great matchup for him. So Daniel Gafford over 25.5 points plus rebounds. I like it at 26.5. Heck, I like it at 27.5. I didn't check out his double-double odds. I can't imagine the double-double is too good, but I'll take a peek right now before we move on to the next pick. Daniel Gafford, double-double, I would imagine is probably going to be minus 180 if I was the one setting a line. Actually, it's not actually too bad. If you look at his double-double, only minus 115. So maybe not a bad pivot if you want to go that way. I'd rather just go the points and rebounds, though, in case he wants to go nuclear in one specific category. Also, the last note on Daniel Gafford, Pelicans. You look at them, 6th most points per game allowed to centers. Rebounds, they allow the most. So again, a terrific spot for Daniel Gafford. Let's hope he stuffs the stat sheet. We don't need any assists tonight. Just go get some points and rebounds. I think he can absolutely do that. Now, my next play is going to be an under. That's going to be a guy that the community doesn't love. That's De'Aaron Fox of the Kings, under 23.5 points, minus 115 on BetMGM. Now, I'd play this at 22.5. I don't like Fox's matchup tonight. I think it's a pretty tough one on the road in Philadelphia, taking on the Sixers. I'll talk about kind of why I think it's a tough matchup. Obviously, but I want to fade him. He's coming off a good game. He scored 30 points. He was shooting the ball pretty well. But again, this is not the best matchup in the world. We kind of saw how they played defense on Reeves yesterday. I kind of opened my eyes to how I feel like we could see our man De'Aaron Fox struggle here, which would be perfect. We would love him to struggle a little bit. First, I want to begin with talking about how De'Aaron Fox scores his points. And if you look at De'Aaron Fox, he scores his points mostly, in the pick and roll, 12th. The Sixers ranked 12th there in transition, stuff like that. But again, I want to look at the games where Malik Monk's in the lineup, Sabonis and DeRozan. He's under in 13 of 21. Now, I put since December 1st because that was when Malik Monk was moved into the starting lineup, playing a lot more minutes. Now, he obviously had a good stretch in here, dominating, but hasn't been really good. I'm sure he went over in his last game. He shot 58%. And there's a game in here against the Sixers. He scored 35 points. He shot 81%. If he shoots 80%, tip the cap. Again, there's nothing we can do if a guy shoots 80%. But a real reason I do like this one is if you look at recently how we've seen this team and the Sixers play defense. So they've been really limiting opponent mid-range attempts, and that's kind of what I want to look at. If you look at just in terms of above the break threes, they've been pretty good at limiting those actions. I can't remember the exact site I found. But again, this has not been a great matchup for guards against the Sixers. They've actually done a pretty decent job at slowing them down. We saw them do that to Reeves last night. Anytime he would try to drive, they double him. Obviously, De'Aaron Fox not known for being a big three-point shooter. If you look at his three-point prop, it's like minus 180, under 2.5 threes. So they don't think he makes more than 2 threes tonight. And again, when you're looking at these games, when De'Aaron Fox has made 2 or fewer threes, he's going to be under in a lot of these games. I mean, we're talking 2 or fewer threes, under 14 of 21 since the beginning of the season. That included some earlier games when Monk's not starting. If you remove a lot of those games, we're looking at, since December, When he makes 2 or fewer threes, he's under in 10 of 14 games. So again, I really don't like the spot for him. I'll take his under in points. Let's hope he doesn't somehow make a bunch of his shots. Probably will because he hates us. But again, I like his under 23.5 points. I think it's a pretty solid angle. Also, the Sixers are on a back-to-back. Would not shock me at all if that game's a blowout. The Sixers are pretty bad. They beat up on the Lakers yesterday. The Lakers had arguably the worst defensive showing I think I've seen in a hot minute in the NBA. They did it last night. They were playing no defense. It was either the defense was fouling. If they didn't give you a wide open layup, it's because they fouled you. So again, I think the Sixers got lucky last night, given how the Lakers play defense. I don't know. The Kings have been a team that can put up points in a hurry, and this has been a Sixers roster that has struggled to put up points. Yeah, might be a tough spot. My next play, we're going to talk about day 3 of the ladder challenge. It'll be posted later on today, so stay tuned. At the end of the video, I'll probably talk about the games that I'm looking at. One that I actually am looking at for an alt under is Tyrese Maxey. I wouldn't be shocked if the Kings double team him. I mean, they did it to Steph Curry. The Sixers have no one else out there that can score the basketball. I might look at a Tyrese Maxey alt under. His line's up to 31.5, which I honestly believe is a tad high. I get it. He just dropped 43 on the Lakers. But again, I'd be a little bit surprised if they let him go nuclear on him. Don't be shocked if they're doing a pretty good job on him. But we'll talk about that in a few more minutes. Again, like I said, it'll be linked down below in the pinned comment. Probably won't be live until like 3 p.m. at the earliest. I'm going to wait for some alternate lines. And finally, if I add any plays, like I said, they'll be down below in the pinned comment as well. Obviously, we have 12, 13 game slate tonight. So a lot of games to comb through. These are my 3 favorite picks: the Curry over, Gafford over, and De'Aaron Fox under. And then obviously day 3 of the ladder challenge. But if there's any added plays, like I said, let me know your favorite picks down below in the pinned comment. There's a good chance we add at least 1 play today, maybe 2, maybe 3. I don't know. We're going to go comb through the board, look at some over, some under, some things I think have value, and hopefully give you guys some more winners down below in the pinned comment. Hopefully turn into 2 straight winning days. Now, to finally wrap up the video, I saw some people that said they appreciated when I go through some other games on the slate, kind of talk through some thoughts and opinions. So I'll do just that. If you want to click off the video, you can. I'm going to talk about first where I believe the ladder challenge will be heavily included, and that is going to be this game, where we have the Denver Nuggets on the road in Madison Square Garden to take on the Knicks. Now, the first matchup between these two teams, and we'll go here, Knicks versus Nuggets game log. First matchup between these two teams was an absolute blowout. Can we please load? This was the game, Knicks 145 to 118. If I go back down here, you'll see what happened. I mean, the Knicks could not miss. They shot 61%. What was most important is OG Anunoby had a 40 piece. Actually, it looks like I'll be best to be over here. OG had a 40 piece, Cat 30. Brunson still got to 23, but the real thing was Brunson at 17 assists. So were they doubling him? Whatever defense they played in that game, it ain't going to happen again. So again, I think they play better defense today. In that one, obviously, not a lot of Nuggets played pretty well. I mean, Jokic had 20 shots. So again, ladder probably is going to be included in this game. I really like Jokic to score the basketball tonight. The Knicks could obviously blow them out again, but I don't see it happening. This Nuggets team coming off 2 straight L's. I think that game's tighter. In terms of the other games, Detroit, Indiana. I don't really love this game. Cade's at 26.5. They've actually been a better defense one-on-one. Probably not getting involved there. Toronto and Washington, I looked at Kuzma, but man, I don't want to lose money on Kuzma right now. Brooklyn, Charlotte, I'm not even clicking on it. Cleveland, Miami, I hate the Heat right now. So I'm probably not getting involved. The play that I did look at, Max Strus, and maybe we add it, Max Strus over in points, obviously making a return to Miami. Head-to-head last time he went back to Miami, 11 points, 4 of 17. So, woof. Yeah, the green light of green lights. So again, I might look at Max Strus, but not sure. We'll see. I already talked about most of these games. This game we have Levine out due to personal reasons. The Bulls, Celtics. I don't mind taking an under here. I honestly looked at Alonzo Ball under, and that might make the card. I'm not sure yet. Clippers, Spurs. I still have to dive into that game a little bit more. Dallas Pelicans already talked about. And then I looked at some plays in this game. So let me know your favorite play in this one. Timberwolves, Phoenix Suns. I've looked at some. Part of me likes Ant-Man over 4.5 assists. You've seen it be pretty consistent, hitting, obviously early on, but recently he's, 9, 7, 11, 4, 11, 12 potential assists. So he's had the potential assists here. Go head to head, 6 on 9 potential assists. Also in that game head to head, he only attempted 14 shots here. I want to say this was one of those games that Ant-Man kind of got pissed after the game. They was getting double teamed. So I don't know. Like I said, we might add a play. Check down below in the pinned comment. The 3 official plays for the day. Curry's over in points. Daniel Gafford over in points plus rebounds. De'Aaron Fox under in points. Obviously, we'll have the ladder challenge. We'll play for 1 unit as well as the $40 that we're playing with it as well. But those are our favorite picks. As always, let me know down below your favorite picks of the day. We might add some as the day goes on. So check that pinned comment. Check the pinned comment for day 3 of the ladder challenge. And overall, have a wonderful Wednesday. As I said earlier last week, Logan and I will be at the Warriors and Magic game, which is on Monday. So if you are in the Bay Area, we're going to do something pregame outside the arena. So, hey, if you want to come meet us, say hello, whatever. We certainly would love to meet you guys. Either way, appreciate you for tuning in. It's Austin, and I'm signing out. We'll see you guys later for the ladder challenge. When that is live, I'll link it here somewhere. And obviously, check that pinned comment for any added plays. Have a great Wednesday. See you in the next one. Peace.